So first of all, let's just put it out there. This is bad news for Donald Trump. So in addition to what Congresswoman Cheney said, a person with knowledge of the investigation has told me that the January 6th committee has information from multiple sources with firsthand knowledge. So not just one source, and that these sources describe what President Trump, as you said, was saying, doing, and not doing during the riot.
Donald Trump really didn't want the National Archives to release the White House documents to the congressional committee investigating January 6th, right? Well, one of the reasons for that seems quite embarrassing for Trump, but also quite on par for who we know him to be. Welcome into TYT's Overruled. I'm your host, Adrienne Lawrence. It's been confirmed that some of the White House documents handed over to the 1-6 committee had to be reconstructed because Donald Trump would tear them apart. In a statement to CNN, the archives said, some of the Trump presidential records received by the National Archives and Records Administration included paper records that had been torn up by former President Trump. The National Archives didn't explain how it knew that Trump was the one to tear up the records, but there are media reports dating back to 2018, essentially to that same effect. Per Politico, there were specific White House aides employed to reconstruct documents and papers that Trump would rip up. As one of the aides told the outlet, we got Scotch tape, the clear kind. You found pieces and taped them back together, and then you gave it back to the supervisor. The restored papers would then be sent to the National Archives to be properly filed away. All right, so the Presidential Records Act requires by law that the White House preserve all letters, memos, emails, papers that the president touches so that they can be sent to National Archives as historical records. But as you'd imagine, Trump isn't big on respecting the legal system or following the rules. And we should just be grateful, really, that that man didn't have a shredder. But back to these documents. The 1-6 committee fought all the way to the Supreme Court to obtain copies of these documents because they're thought to be a key part of the investigation. Now, while we do not know exactly what these hundreds of pages really reveal, we do know from court documents that it suggested that they include call logs, visitor logs, handwritten notes by advisors, and other materials. And the committee has been learning a lot lately, such as there was an executive order apparently directing the Secretary of Defense to seize all voting machines. And just yesterday, VP Mike Pence's Chief of Staff, Mark Short, testified before Congress in response to his subpoena. The thing is that these documents, they actually might provide corroboration for a lot of the stories that they hear from these individuals who respond to their subpoena requests. One thing we do hear, and we do know of, is the fact that Trump is going to do his damnedest to keep everything under wraps.
I think it's very unfair.
A little bit unfair. Unfair.
Very, very unfair.
Very unfair.
The laws are very unfair.
But, sir, with all due respect, that's the argument of a 5-year-old.
I didn't start it.
But do you think that the 1-6 committee is actually going to do something if they find sufficient evidence of this coup? Let me know. I want to see your thoughts in the comments. Also, hit that like and follow button, and thanks for watching.